Welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League. If you have just joined us, I'm Alex Machine Richardson, and I'm joined by Lauren Pansy Scott to jump into Game 2 of our 4-game day. We're going to be going into Cbble. We're going to be going to see TSM up against Mousesports. And this is going to be a real exciting one, primarily because the last time, I think it was me and Jason that casted this one, or was it myself and Lee? Either way, we saw Mousesports and TSM meet on this very map. And you know the balances, the biases that you usually consider in Cbble, they just get thrown out the window. As we saw Mousesports pick up 10 rounds on their CT side, and then TSM just goes straight back in their face with 11 on theirs.
Yeah, and to be fair though, TSM just came off of a win against Fnatic as well. That's going to put them in such a high point. I don't know what they can really do now, Mousesports. They're going to have to dig deep. And looking outside of that as well, towards the standings of the league, if TSM win this, they'll be tied for first place. So a really big game for TSM and quite the opponent to begin with. But I believe we are live into this one, and let's see how this goes down.
So kicking this one off, we are going to be seeing the T side look to be orientating themselves towards some form of a push. I say that very lightly considering just how much time they have to work with and how much we know Mousesports like to run that clock down. Let's just cast our mind back to the game yesterday, which we of course highlighted at the start of the show, just saying that Mousesports were pushing into sites at 15 seconds, 20 seconds until the end of the round. They really like to run that clock down. Maybe not in the pistol, but that remains to be seen.
And Carrigan just being left to his own devices after Device does actually leave him and fall back towards Cyan. It's always a nice play. You're going to smoke it off and really kind of sell it to them. And it's completely fine to push up that far. You okay?
Yep, just kicking wires. Ouch.
Oh, bless your cottons. Still.
I'm better.
I think we are seeing the slower Mousesports this time around on their pistol. Godby and Legisia, the only two who's got that utility there. They've got the smoke, the flashes, and they rest sit on the armor. The next does actually not go down. Legisia there to support him in the end. Kerrigan will be found, but TSM going to rotate themselves and adjust over towards the A site, where the flashes are starting to come into place. Legisia going to head himself up and actually does find Device, leaving a little bit of a hole in the defense here, and next on the support coming in big. And this should be a bomb plant and the first round.
Bomb goes in at 25 seconds. True Mouse style. As dupreeh and Cbble are not going to be ruled out of this one just yet. They're going to be able to level this out here. Legisia goes down. He's looking for his teammate to push in. And if Mousesports let this one slip, it's going to be such a big problem. dupreeh again. This is insanity. Now Chris J has got such a mountain to climb. And he's got so little time to do it. The bomb's ticking away. He knows the defuse is coming in. dupreeh ends him. That's 3 for dupreeh, 2 for Cbble. And this deadly Danish duo just step up in the pistol.
Unbelievable. Mouse should never have let that happen. I don't know what to say. How the hell two players can come back in like that is just not right. Even if you're great individually, you shouldn't allow that to happen. But that's what I'm saying. When these players are on that high, when they're feeling good about their performances, they become so unstoppable. Yeah,
I mean, like, I was writing that round. I was writing that round off. I was just completely like, I mean, I knew Mousesports had that in the bag, or at least I thought Mousesports had that in the bag. Other forces were at work there, though. As it's time to see what those 3 MP7s, a P90 and an M4 can bring home for TSM. We have just seen Mousesports invest quite lightly. The 3 Tech 9s, no armor, and the double flash on Legisia. Let's see what they can make work here. It looks like they're going to once again head towards that A site.
Yeah, and Xyp9x is already waiting down there. Perfect nade timing. Look at the damage. 4 players now down pretty darn low. And even around the back, you've got Device getting ready to come into the action. The P90's there. He just misses them. But it doesn't matter. Xyp9x has an idea. And being herded from pillar to post. Device waited and waited patiently, but then will spring the trap and should pick up all 3. The P90 going to town.
That's really solid work from Device. Carrigan is there to pick up the double to end it. And whew, TSM. I mean, I saw JW saying that, you know, they've choked a couple of vital rounds. Mousesports prone to choking a few rounds. This could go very south very fast for Mousesports. Let's not forget, of course, the last time we saw these teams play on this map, this was actually the last time we saw TSM on Cbble, which is a big surprise. We haven't seen too much of them. And when we saw Mousesports start on that CT side, Mousesports had a strong CT, but when we saw TSM, they picked 11 back-to-back rounds. So let's see if they're going to see any changes for Mousesports in this CT side for TSM.
3 players over by the A side this time for TSM. Can stack that one up, but Chris J going to take matters into his own hands, opening up on towards B and then forcing Device to get himself back over to support it just in case. But really nice opening pick for Mouse. They should be able to build something off the back of this.
Yeah, they certainly should. See what Device has in store for us to slow this down. Getting that opening pick, T-side is so vital because it means that you know there's this, that they're either going to go for like a 3-1 stack, or you're going to see this 2-2, and then picking onto a site becomes just that little bit easier. You can see the bomb and 2Ts are just orientating themselves towards that B site off the back of that loss of Cajun B. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis finds something that they just go all the way back round.
We'll have to see what they can relocate here. 3 players are now waiting over on towards this site, Device being one of them. And Mouse are starting to get themselves towards it. Bomb is with them. Carrigan backing himself up as well. Kind of resetting the pace here. But I think Device just heard them stepping in towards, and he has. Perfect flash comes out. The double as well. Going to catch 3 of them off guard. Dupree pushed up a touch. Could be in a great spot here, but Carrigan round the backside comes into play. MP7 going to town again. This is not good at all. But the SMGs are going to be struggling up against the AK by the Mouse brought out. Cheeky little plant coming in from Godby, and he's held it down. Oh no, Chris J taking down his own teammate, leaving a 2v1, and Device, you never know what this guy could achieve.
Yeah, I'm not going to count him out this round just yet. Chris J and Dennis aren't full health, but see what he can find with the Tech-9. That would have been vital for the success of this round. If you can find this one, though, there is a chance. Chris J shakes his head with 3 that round.
He opened the round, he closed the round, he even killed his own teammate during the round, but they still get it, and that was a very well-needed round for Mousesports. I like the way they got the opening pick, slowed down a little, didn't just straight up rush it. We saw TSM, starting to put a lot of bodies towards it as well, so it was a good idea that they didn't just quickly play off the back of it.
There is an element of concern, though, for me, because this could really mess with the Mouse economy if they don't pick this round up. You can see TSM know that situation. They're going to go as much as they can into this round. 3 rifles and just an armored pistol for the others. And now Mousesports realize that there's a lot riding on this one. This could start the momentum from TSM if they pick this one up.
It looks like Mouse just want a little bit of information. They want to know what they've got here.
Did you see a hint at a boost there?
Yeah, you can see that they were considering it, I guess.
They're like, no, not today.
Hold it back. Yeah, Mouse not really rushing too much. They're just spreading out, trying to get that information. Maybe look for an opening pick. And if they do actually meet these 2, it probably would be the ideal place to go, considering they do only have pistols here. Zipnix is just around that corner. Chris J going to try and push Cajun B out of position. Mouse, very slow round. This is something we're going to get used to.
Yeah.
Just how they like to run down that clock and retain a lot of their utility as well.
Now, do you think this is primarily Godby?
Yes, 100%.
Like, that's just something that he feels comfortable on the T side, or he feels it works for his team, and that's something he's going to be kind of commanding them through. Because we've definitely seen this new Mousesports have a very, very recognizable T side in terms of pacing and in terms of kind of structure.
Yeah, it's a nice adaptation, and if they can really make it work, then why not? It gives them a little bit of an edge, but we are going to see a bit of pressure starting to come down towards these 2. Zipnix and Device going to be scrutinized over by A. Godby going to come in and clean up the mess there. Does take down Zipnix. There's still 1 player close. That's Device. Device goes in, gets 1, looks for a second, denied by Godby, as Godby does just push straight in, straight through, and that bomb is loose, but now recovered, and looking to go towards the site.
Carrigan winning on that exchange with Godby, and that's big because he's been able to keep firing in the shots. God damn, I wasn't expecting that. And CTs are going to win courtesy of the time. Didn't even see that one coming in. I had no idea. I mean, we know Mousesports like to run the clock down. Not to that extent, though.
Thing is, as we said, any small error, any stop with that bomb plant being left loose on its way across, it costs them the round. And they did get the bomb plant in, so maybe some money coming through, but not a great deal.
We haven't made enough of a big deal about that, because I was so confused when I saw Counter-Terrorist win. I was like, whoa, what? Oh, time, okay. But that's massive. That's Mousesports throwing away around. That's not the first time we've seen that happen as well. They run the clock down, and if things don't go to plan, looks like they're going to be having a team talk as well. I was concerned Next was disconnected. Nope, just going to be chatting with his team in this 1 rifle game.
It's interesting that they put the player who's not necessarily in the main lineup going to be running with that AK rather than switching up to someone like Godby, who actually used to run this sort of setup for himself. Then they're going to try and fight out against Device, and in the end it's going to go for a 1-for-1 exchange, but the information's been gathered. Zipnik's going to adjust backwards. And this should be a nice clean round coming out for the CT side, but they have recovered another gun, which is always good to see.
Yeah, and they give it to the unarmored Nex, so they've got something in store for us.
Maybe Godby's just happy enough with that Tech-9, but this is going to be the play, and look, they're quite aggressive with this. They can get up close. This could do danger.
Certainly could, and look at that. Zipnix has already picked up 3. What? You're going to find the 4th. I wouldn't be surprised. Chris J shuts that down, though, as he's been thrown into a 1 versus 2. But there is a Mag 7 in play, and Dupree's about to close the gap. That's going to be so difficult for Chris J to avoid, as he just blows a hole in Chris J's chest. and gets the defuse as well. That's going to put 4 then on the board for TSM. And let's not forget, Mousesports have already done better on this T side than they did last time.
that's I guess, some silver lining.
That's something.
But yeah, it's so hard when Xyp9x is playing like this. My mind goes back to how the game went down when it was against NIP. When these guys get on the sites, it's so hard to break through. Even if you get 1 down, you're still going to have 3 more players of such high caliber just waiting for you. Just waiting around the corner, and Xyp9x was able to deliver them with, I think, 3 in that round. So we are seeing the open play. Cbble going to pick that one up. Christian not able to get anything like that into his hands just yet. The economy just really working against them. But still, Mousesports need a round on the board now, a solid round on the board. And let's see if they can make that happen early on here. Already just their slow start happening. I quite like it when they occasionally speed up just to catch people off, but at the moment, still happy to stick to this pace.
Yeah, don't change what ain't broke. As already, Xyp9x is going to be able to pick up a frag. Oh, I say that, no. He had the perfect angle. Godby walked straight into his crosshair, but nothing going to come of it. As now Device is going to throw a nade in response. That's probably going to give Dennis a little idea of where his position is, and it does. Straight through the smoke, Dennis chimes in with a frag, and that's going to be a potential indicator of where Mousesports wants to choose to push. The bomb's still loose, of course, as this is far too early for Mousesports to consider a site.
Yeah, you might as well just start looking down towards the 30 seconds on this site, and on this map especially. They really do like to run it so darn late, but they're going to have to start considering things now. They're going to have to start making the play. Nice little flash comes in. Next allowing him in towards challenging dupreeh, but now they know Cbbe's on their side, and they're actually heading towards the 2 players on towards A. This could be an error. Sometimes, I guess, you might read it a little too late. And actually, Xyp9x was waiting. Karrigan's still there unscathed, and we're down to 25 seconds. Legia is in a good position. Legia even. But I don't know if they can really make this happen. Once again, it's going to come down to landing these kills and making it damn quick.
Oh, Legia with 2 swift frags, and that's going to be time for the bomb to go down. He needs to go fast, get some swift numbers into the console there, and now we're going to be seeing just 1 man left. Cbble, we know he was on B, so did the Team Mouse. God damn that tag. And now... You
really don't like it, do you?
It bugs me. There's no S in Mousesports, boys.
Do you mean there's no Z?
Oh God. There is definitely a few S's in Mousesports. Oh God.
You really messed up.
Yeah, there's no Z. Thank you, Lauren, for just making me sound slightly less idiotic. Yeah, appreciate that.
That's okay.
But I mean, Cajun Beast is going to get a couple of X's. I won't be surprised if he gets the second as well. No, backing away to safety as he keeps hold of the AWP. 4-1 then the score. Good God. There's no S in Mousesports. Yeah, yes, Alex. Good one. 10 points to Gryffindor.
I'd say you're a Hufflepuff right now, if I'm honest.
I'm more of a Ravenclaw, yeah. That's right.
Oh, we're really going down
Harry Potter banter.
You know, you hit a low point when that's such a pinnacle of what we can say until about 25 seconds into the round when Mousesports decide to do something. However, they do also like to play really slow when they're unsure of what they're against, and it is a mixed bike out from TSM, so I can imagine it might be quite slow as well. But actually, this time they're being more decisive, going to head themselves over towards A lot earlier on. Xyp9x going to start things off, though, by taking down Godby. That 5-7 starting to rip into those Mousesports players, but other than that, it's all looking like it's going to come down towards this A bomb site. The T side already making their play towards it. dupreeh going to swing himself in towards the site, gets pinned to the wall by Chris J. And the remaining 3 are going to have to try and put together the pieces that have been torn apart by Mouse. Now down to a 3v3. This could be just as equal and brought back.
Yeah, Mouse have sometimes struggled with these runs when they have the level playing field, when they have the bomb down. And they're just very prone to retakes. As this is perfect from Legia. Managed to catch out Karrigan, and that's going to mean that TSM are going to be running out of players as well as running out of time. And I think they are going to be running away as they are getting the hell out of dodge.
Yeah, they're still close enough they could be caught here, or at least take down maybe Legia, but yeah, nice work from Device in the end, just crouching his way to victory. But they are being hunted, and they are being pressured. And Cbble, sadly, is looking the wrong way if they actually do make this one. They won't be peeking. Both of them now holding onto their guns, but Mousesports, when they sped up a little then, it actually worked out.
Yeah, Mousesports are having a high preference towards this A site, it seems, and that's not as common as you would expect. I mean, Mousesports kind of demonstrating the pros and cons of it. I guess kind of the A site favors that slower style as well. As there's so many potential positions for a CT. So many potential positions, and just as I say that, looks like we're going to be seeing something very different from Mouse as they're looking to kind of gather numbers and go. Dare I say? Nope, they hit the walk key. Okay.
all of a sudden, it just kind of halts.
This is still quick, though. Look at next.
Yeah, for these guys, this is actually fairly quick. Not sure if they're going to keep up with it now. Leisha's gone down to Dupree. Cajun B even finding Chris J. That smoke's going to land just nice and over, but now Next is the one who's having to spring into the action, picking up 2 already. Flashed out Dennis, turns to the wall, trying to buy a little bit of time here, trying to help out. Oh, he gets the tag. That's a disaster. But there we go. Godby kicks in. And now Device and Xyp9x on the retake. The bomb yet to go down. They could still stop this cross.
They certainly can. Godby and Dennis. They're a little worse for wear, but they are onto site. As Godby does have the bomb to hand. See if he chooses to get it down. I don't think the pressure is going to be available. It is alleviated, though, by Dennis. He goes on to Xyp9x, and Godby is there. And Mouse managed to level it out to 4 apiece. And this is a good sign of things to come here on Cobble.
If they can keep building on their T side like this, it certainly is. Godby doing really nicely then. And looking at the scoreboard here, kill-wise, it's actually a fairly even spread. Dennis a little quiet, but absolutely fine coming out from the Mousesports boys.
And it has to be said, we've seen Mouse twice already, and Legisha has just melded, like kind of just sunk into this lineup as if he's a regular player. I mean, Spiddy, haven't really noticed his loss as of yet.
Really? Device.
BM.
That's just mean. That's just mean. Poor little Xyp9x. Just kind of look at him. Look how sad he looks now.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm just going to be down a little bit of health. Thanks, mate.
If
64
someone
HP.
stabbed you in the back, I feel like you'd be a little worse for wear than like
64 HP.
64 HP.
Then again, we did discover these are like butter knives, so
Well,
maybe
with the
it's
new
just a
knife
little
sound,
tickle.
yeah.
Maybe it's just a little tickle these days. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like I'd want to go to a hospital if someone put a karambit in my back.
Yeah, I tend to agree. We're talking absolute nonsense because this should be a very easy round for Mousesports, and so far it's looking like it is. But yeah, I think I kind of agree with you on that one. I'd want
like
some
maybe
medical
a plaster, a little bit of super glue for the wound.
Oh yeah, super glue.
Did you know that's what it was originally made for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Godby and Legisha are going to wrap that one up, and there's no surprises there. Mousesports, though, not having any casualties and getting the bomb down. It's a perfect round from Mouse, and that's good to see that they're not going to be messing up some of these more, I don't want to say guaranteed, but easier to pick up rounds.
Where's Legisha still at the UMP?
He's picking up dollar for his team.
There we go.
There we go.
I was getting a little nervous. It was down to 1 second, but then again, it's Mousesports. They like to run the clock down in every single aspect of their gameplay.
No matter what clock it
Late
is.
buys,
Yeah.
everything, you know.
They sit in front of the microwave and they just wait for that last second before they press the open door button.
See, everyone's like, yeah, I do that because it makes me feel cool and I'm stopping a bomb going off. I just do it because the beeps really annoy me.
Especially late at night.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
annoying, isn't it? We just
Risk.
got a little bit of rice on.
It's a bit of risk.
Yeah. Anyway, into this one, we do have the fully bought up TSM this time. And, well, they push quite close as well. They actually sit quite close towards drop. And towards those B steps as Godby.
Where's he lining up?
I don't know. Godby is. I think Chris J's just in his way more than anything.
Chris,
Sorry.
Chris,
Move.
Chris.
Move.
Thank you.
There we go. He didn't.
Oh,
Need
I thought he was
for
going to throw
anything.
a smoke.
Wait, maybe
Okay.
he is. Hold on. It looks like they are setting up for something. There we go.
Ah,
he was
okay.
setting something up.
So let's see where this one's going to go. I assume it's going to just cover off doors.
It's a flash.
It's a flash? Oh, it is. Okay, pop flash then.
Maybe. I just kind of want to see where it goes now. I'm
Yeah, I'm
more
intrigued.
interested in this. I probably shouldn't be. Oh. God, this is his
KGB
game.
in drop.
Look
Gonna
at
be
this.
seeing him slaughter some people, and
So that just goes by the
that's it,
door.
yeah.
That's it. Simple as that. And let's see if it works out. Probably not right now because Cajun B and Dupree are having their way with them, and they've taken so long to actually push towards this side. By now, TSM have 4 players here, all closing on the last man alive, which is Chris J. Dupree makes light work of him. And this is the one thing I'll say with Mousesports. When they do these late pushes, when they make these late plays, it's absolutely fine when everything comes into place at the right point. When they slow it down a little bit and they do this kind of like off-jointed pushes, you know what I mean? When like they do the smokes a little early, okay, if they get the kills initially, great. But then when you get some of TSM's caliber, it can actually be really quite detrimental to do that because they're going to be in your face by then. They would have picked up your kills, and God-B was so far behind the rest of his side by that point. But still, 5-5. This isn't a bad scoreline for either side. I just feel that TSM's T side will be much better.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that we're going to be seeing more and more from the other side of things. If Mousesports, or assuming Mousesports, kind of continue down this path. As already, we are going to hit the standstill. They tried the fast, they tried it once, it didn't work out, and they're back to what works. I say that, they are going to be seeing a little bit of extra pressure applied up long. But a couple of flashes and a couple of exchanges, and we're going to be seeing them back, right on back to the drawing board. So, currently the bomb loose. Round kind of drop side of things. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a push on towards site towards that 25-second mark.
Are you going 25?
That's 25.
20.
20, okay, so we're still not expecting to see much from the T side just yet. There is an exchange though. It's actually going to be Legija who draws blood. Gobby's going to go for the flash. This could be a picking up the pace here. We are at 30 seconds, so 5 seconds before I am the winner chicken dinner. And we are down. Okay, this is going to be quick and it's going to be painful as Chris J does go down. 4 Ts do remain though, and they're going to start hunting. They need to start hunting fast, and that's going to be such an important double. Next could have got the triple, but Device just shakes his head as they're going to be charging in. Bomb goes in, and now 2 Ts remain, but they're so stacked on health.
Yeah, Gobby's in trouble here. He's surrounded. That molly is going to hurt. He has to back out and be very cautious with it. He needs to depend on Dennis. But Zipnix again! What is with this guy and just shooting through smoke? My mind just gets flashbacks to Nip with that 1-0 USPS shot. But still, now Dennis, last man alive, 1v2. Bomb is pretty much planted for him. He has to play this smart, and that's perfect. Zipnix goes down. And now 1v1. There isn't time here for Device. He's getting the hell out of there. And Dennis, with 2 HP remaining, gets the job done. Clapped.
I involuntarily clapped that. That was very, very down to the wire.
Nice!
Damn it.
Nice, Dennis.
No, but that was, yeah, that was nice to see Mousesports just about sorting that one out. Did I say that?
No.
No, but...
Don't mock me.
6-5 the score, and it has to be said already, Mousesports are really looking much better than they did before. There were like inklings when I saw them play this last time. Yeah. You could see Gobby playing long occasionally, this slow kind of play across the... What have I said?
Nothing, you just... When I looked at you, you like crumbled into, have I messed up?
You smirked at me, you smirked. I was just trying to explain what they were... Oh, hang on. Exciting things are happening. We'll come back to that point. As Mousesports are just stacking their numbers. And look at the response from TSM. TSM have got 3 players stacked up towards that B site. And if Mousesports actually moved, this A site could be in a lot of trouble. They have weapons as well. Lauren's having a little bit of a giggling fit. I don't know if you can hear it. She's got her mute button on. And here they come. Mousesports charging in. Device is going to have to be ready, and it looks like he is as he just picks up 2. Backs away, almost unscathed, narrowly taken down to 72. And Dennis with the response.
But TSM have the numbers now. They have 3 players ready on this site. The bomb's already committed. There's a little bit of more time to work with this, and maybe Mouse can forge something out of this. Gobby get himself towards the site now, taking down 2. Zipnix falls. He's got a safe plant to depend on, and Dennis again can get set up for this. Chris J yet to retrieve a weapon, though. He's still got an issue here. He's going to try and pop flash through that smoke. Cbble on the other side, though, completely blinded. Gets picked up by Chris J, and now it's all in Carrigan's hands, and he's having none of this. Going to get out of there, flash him up, and get the hell out of that site. That
was a different sheet from the Gobby playbook. Something completely new, as he's going to be sending his team 4-man stack down long. And that one seemed to shape up quite nicely. And we saw the bomb go down. I think we almost saw it before the minute mark. So they actually made a move and made it quicker.
They definitely did, and that's always good to see. I like to see a little bit of variation, and it worked out. It gives them time to adjust rather than this like all-in, okay, we've got 20 seconds to get everything perfect, which is fine. That waited a little second to go into the new round. That was getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
Little mini panic. It's okay. But yeah, it was nice to give themselves a little bit of room then. It just worked out. It gave them time to go for these little pop flashes, gave time for Gobby to work out those 2 kills that opened it up. And that's great. That's absolutely great to see. So hopefully Mouse can find a little bit more of that, where it's not just depending on those slow plays, but they can throw in those occasional slightly quicker rounds that can do the damage. But looking at TSM now, their economy is so weak. They've got, what, 157 with armor there, with Zipnix, and a little bit of head armor and a decoy, and then Carrigan with the M4. Outside of that, there's not much they can look towards, but they're just going to sit close, and that's what they're quite good at doing. So if Mousesports pick this up, they're actually looking like they're doing okay on this T side. Yeah,
this would be really quite nice to see, and kind of just remove that anomaly of the last time these 2 met on Cbble from our minds. Suggest things are going as planned. 4 Ts all gathering towards this B site now. Legija has been winning out on these exchanges in the past. Gobby first to spot a CT, and that's going to start this flood of players, it seems, as the smokes are going to start raining in. That's going to cover off Coop. As now Cbble, Zipnix and Dupree lie in wait, ready for a response. It has to be said, though, Carrigan, the 1 man with a rifle, isn't there yet, and the time is of the essence. As it looks like he has made an appearance, but Legija is already storming onto the site. They just need to take that M4 out of his hands. They have, and the bodies are going to keep dropping. Legija is the man to pick up 3, but I say that, Cbble just takes 2 with a 5-7 before he's finally shut down. And that's going to be, hopefully, and I'm not going to write this one off, another round for Mousesports. Device, no armor, no hope, and 3 players to find.
He's in a very bad spot here, and he knows it. You can't walk into this. I do like the name of his CZ, though. I think it's something you would wear, you know what I mean? Like, you would have a CZ called that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was wearing a Tiger t-shirt today.
That's why I was implying, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
People didn't see that, but it was a Tiger t-shirt.
Yeah, it's just
nice.
Tiger's face.
Really big.
Really big Tiger's face. Not like a little minimal one on
no, it's not subtle.
On the patch, no.
No.
Oh well, bomb's going to be exploding, and Mousesports are going to be picking up their 8th in this one, and TSM probably going to be in a much better economy situation. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's going to...
Economical?
Just Xyp9x 2.4. I'm going to completely ignore that comment. Ooh, dearie me. So just Xyp9x going to be struggling to buy up, but they are going to be able to scrape together a buy. Once again, we're going to be seeing a 5-7, this time from Cbble hands to Xyp9x. And just two players lacking that head armor as well. So not a fantastic buy, distinct lack of nades as well. They've managed to get everyone other bar Xyp9x a smoke, so they're going to be able to delay Mousesports, which is of course kind of the most integral part of CT against Mouse.
Yeah, if you can buy even more time after they start their plays, it's great. But Carrigan, I love this spot. They're just sitting there waiting it out. Godby trying to flash his way in here. They're cautious though, Mousesports. They're not going to rush. Every single bit of control they take is just thought of well, but Carrigan getting that 1-for-1 exchange. Dennis even going very low there. They can't break through towards A without losing a single member at the moment. And Dennis going down to this sort of HP is going to make it very hard. But Device, he's going back for more. And he's going to get more. Device is not happy doing that early little bit of damage. He wanted the kill. And now Xyp9x, though, a little bit lost for cash. Going to have to sit back slightly deeper towards A.
Now, he's going to kind of take those warning signs and back the hell out of there. Godby and Dennis, the 2 casualties. And TSM just seem to have a very nice kind of constructed defense. Sometimes they sit far back, very passive on that A site. Sometimes they get that duo push deep up long and try and kind of catch Mouse off guard with that. Keep them guessing, which is kind of very important, especially on Cobble. Here comes the execute. They're going to be diving into their very own molly, it seems. As now... here comes what remains of the T side. They're going to be ripped apart by Dupree. And now, what have you got, Chris J? I assume absolutely nothing. Does find the one onto Cbble, and now, with just 25 points of health, he's got a whole lot of TSM to find. Doesn't manage to find anything, and that's going to give the 6th over to TSM.
And I'm really excited to see TSM's T side now, because when we discussed this with Devilwalk, he was saying this is becoming quite a T-sided map. He thinks that it can start going in their favor. And then teams start to do well on the CT again, so it kind of swung back around. But I'm just excited to see what TSM can achieve. I think they're one of the teams that can do well on T sides. I think their CT is just as strong. But you know, Mousesports, their slow plays really did begin to work. It started off very poorly. They didn't have the best of starts. But you can see in the last couple of goes of it, they've definitely been working things out. The start was very shoddy, but beyond that, very comfortable here. And now Carrigan just catching a glimpse towards A-Long. Going to back himself up, though. Put out the smoke. And once again, just wait to see if Mousesports actually push off this.
Yeah, just lingering outside that smoke, hoping one of the Mousesports is going to, members is going to test their luck, and they do. Wow, Godby. Carrigan just had a great understanding of what Mouse would have chosen to go for there. And now there's one man left. It's going to be Dennis, and he draws blood. That's Carrigan down, and all of a sudden he's going to be pressured from behind. Device and Carrigan just so good at trading kills. They just seem to have such a better kind of synergy than we've seen in the past, and just a little dink to back away.
Like a warning shot, but Device just doesn't care. He's got the AK, he's having a little run around, and they know where the remaining players are. That's the problem with Mouse. When they play it this late in the game, they know what's happening. They know what's up. And again, final round of the half comes in, and well, that was just a really nicely done job.
8-7 then, the half. TSM kind of just about managed to stabilize, but the point you made was really nice when you opened the scoreboard. You could actually see this early stumbles from Mousesports, and then he kind of got a much better understanding, a much better... I can't be honest, I can be honest.
I must lie to you.
I have to lie right now. No, but we saw Gobby take a much more backseat role. In the early rounds, he was trying to kind of be more of this going long and finding a pick.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of saw him take a step away from that role. He was throwing the same flash, but he wasn't necessarily going down as early. Maybe that was because TSM decided to back up into sight. I mean, there's a lot of speculation that can be made there. But Mousesports bringing us a very kind of convincing T side, considering how they favored before with TSM when they took their T side, went 11-0 up. So on their CT side, sorry, of course.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'll just try and get back in the server.
Yeah, and me.
Hashtag production value.
Hey, man.
We're trying.
We're on our
way.
way.
We've got some duct tape out. You know, we're making it work.
Sticking things back together. Okay. So for the second half then, Lauren, you said you were excited to see TSM's T side. That's something you really want to see. I think it's fair to say we're going to see a very direct contrast between how Mouse play T and TSM.
Well, I'd assume so. The caliber of, from Team A to Team B is drastically different. So, yeah, I think this should be a different game, really, a different kind of display of it. I just don't know how different it's going to be. Mousesports could have done a lot of work on their CT side, but considering the start of the show, I could see them literally looking through smokes and flashes for the T side. Gobby was like running around trying to find out new flashes and smokes. Right. So I don't know how well prepared they are for this map. So it looked okay on their T side, but now TSM's going to have a much better, well-rounded display. So I think we're going to see kind of the very different side of the coin there.
Yeah, I mean, something that Gobby's always been very good at is kind of managing to mold his teams into something on a T side. CT, this is going to be more kind of down to how they went out on these exchanges as well. Legesia, of course, being that new presence. I say new presence. It feels weird to say Mousesports and new presence, but, you know, he is filling in for Spiddy with this new roster. We saw Nico yesterday, and he didn't necessarily underperform. No,
Nico was just a bit quiet for Nico. That's the thing. He's arguably one of the more prestigious players recently. He's got a lot of not critics, but he's got a lot of people's attention, let's say. A lot of people wanted to see him do well, and he was a little bit quiet, but not a bad performance. He was absolutely fine, but quiet for what people put his reputation towards being.
Quickly do some. Well, you keep talking. I'm going to find. I just want to find Legesia. Where is he? Because never mind. I'll find it. Just give me a second.
Oh, we're gonna just give it a little dead air.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do dead air. Dead air while I find.
Still trying to talk. Stop it. No.
No, never mind.
Point didn't work out?
No, what I was just trying to work out was because, you know, one of the things that the kind of discussion was for Mousesports was Gobby wanted to communicate in German. And so, you know, that was one of the reasons why they didn't feel comfortable communicating in English with Nico, which of course was the point we made yesterday. Legesia, I mean, yeah, he's from Serbia. He's not going to speak. Does he speak German? This is what I was hoping.
A lot of German.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I
wouldn't be surprised if he can speak fluent German.
Like, I'm gonna Google. Does Legesia speak?
You actually are.
German?
Are you serious?
Does someone asked on July 27th, and the answer is yes, he does. There we go. Yeah, he can speak fluent German. He lives in Germany. Woo! Google prevails. So that means, and it's something that has to be observed, that this most likely means that Gobby is now communicating in German for this game, in contrast to yesterday when they had Nico and was either just completely ignoring their merc, or they were communicating in English. So things have changed, and if Mousesports succeed further today than they did yesterday, that may be an indicator as to why.
Maybe. You're really proud of that, even though it took you on-air time to research it. Are you okay?
I'm just doing a little dance.
I wish people could have seen that. Matt, next time, please do switch to Alex doing
a
really special dance.
It's a celebration dance.
Is it?
Yeah. It's quite similar to a rain dance, but yeah, a couple of different moves in there.
I'll have to look out for that. But we are live into the second half here. Mousesports 8-7 so far, just in front of TSM. But TSM are on this T side, and it has been an argued point that the T side can be quite favourable on occasion. But let's see if TSM can convert that into taking the win here. However, Mousesports certainly going to be looking to try and disrupt that as much as possible.
Yeah, 100%. And excuse my voice break. We'll see. Just growing up. Don't mind me. Device and Carrigan in that long area. As Dennis is going to be able to be the first to receive them. And I feel like he's just going to back away. Trying to play this safe. Trying to keep his teammates in it. keep the communication there as well, as Gobby's going to be able to keep his eyes on the cross. Next is there to back him up. This is quite a nice setup they have, but dupree's already drawn blood, and that's going to be real bad as Dennis goes down. Next with the response, that's a great return, Frank, as he fires a warning shot towards his teammate. Bombed in, though, for TSM, but that may not be all the redeeming factors they need, as Device is trying to do something. Oh my god, he does everything! Picks up 3, and now it's all onto Device, and he picks up another! That's going to be huge from Device. 4 frags in that round, just his compadre dupreeh to wrap it up, and that all comes down to some swift Glock work from Device.
And didn't we see something ridiculous on that first pistol as well coming out from TSM? Wasn't it like a 4v2 and they were able to turn it around?
That's exactly right, yeah.
This is unbelievable stuff. Mousesports should have had that. By all rights, they should have had that, but the power one man can, the difference one man can make, just unreal. So now TSM, 3 rifles, 2 SMGs, got that Galil in there, got the Mag-10. Nothing too crazy being brought up, but this is just great stuff from TSM. I love watching them on these sort of rounds, especially when they find that form. But now, it looks like we're going to be seeing a big hit towards this B site. There are 3 players here, and actually, yeah, Legesia is going to get himself up on towards the balcony. Gobby trying to hop, skip, and jump in towards drop. And Chris J and Dennis just watching towards A. They could hear if there is a rotate unless they slow walk the whole way. And they might start considering that. Gobby does have to be careful of that mid push if they do come up and try and go through connector.
It looks like they very well might do. Device is going to be the one to crawl his way to challenge these 2 and long. And he's going to find one with the AK. He's going to find 2. And now his armored pistols from Mouse may very well be tested and tested pretty tough. It's going to be just Legesia and Nex remaining. Make it just Legesia, as he is got, I mean, an insurmountable task ahead of him. dupreeh's going to confirm that for us. And we're going to be seeing TSM pick up their 2nd off the back of that pistol.
Nicely done by TSM. Really nicely done. Not losing out much either, which is really quite impressive. Ximnix, it doesn't even need a gun half the time, but he will be dropped out by Device in the end, so these guys will get the weaponry back with them. And on the other side of things, the CT side really cannot afford much. They're down so low on this USPSs and then 1P250, so not going to go for an investment.
So Device had 4K, he dropped for Ximnix, and then chose not to buy a rifle for himself.
AWP.
Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. They're confident with that 5.7. He's obviously got a weapon he can pick up if he needs it, but he knows they're not going to have much. And they're just going to be doing damage with the 5.7. Dennis is going to try and respond to him, but Device is there. Is he just going to do it with a 5.7? I feel like he might. As Cajun B is there to back him up with the Galil, fortunately. But we are going to be seeing the 3 remaining CTs realize that this is not going to go to plan. And TSM are going to secure the 10th.
They're still looking, bless them.
Yeah, they're going hunting. Trying to take something away from TSM. Of course, have to remember in that 3rd round, they're probably going to be getting rid of those, well, the SMGs at least. Anyway, kind of gives Device some freedom to try and take those remaining frags, and he is. dupreeh is there for 1. dupreeh's there for 2. And dupreeh is there for 3. That does, though, put 10, as I said before, on the board for TSM. And now it's time to see some weapons in the hands of Mouse, and most likely see an AWP purchase, courtesy of Device.
And they could really do with this. After losing 3 straight,
or not.
the clean 3.
Yeah.
They definitely could really do with this one now. It would just stop maybe TSM getting to that confidence scoreline, stop the kind of effect that the CTs have with that lack of money starts to build into place. But let's just look towards what TSM can bring now. Chris J gonna get halted as he tried to go a little further aggressive. We are seeing the boost up. Now for Gobby, he's gonna get into a great spot here. He could catch off dupreeh and Ximnix. This could be very nice if Gobby just holds this. They might check. But no, not well enough. Gobby does find dupreeh, backs away, and that's a great bit of impact play, done and dusted. Yeah,
it just seems so casual now. We're back to his flower bed. And he's going to wait this one out. And that's very good play there from Mouse. Not trying to, go crazy with the impact play, not try and be the hero. Instead, just cuts his losses, cuts the frag, and backs away.
That's what's going to have to do this on every single front as well. They all have to be able to pick up that just one-to-one trade at least. It's so hard, though, at TSM. There's such great individual players. We've seen Device going big, dupreeh going big. We've seen just about every single member. Ximnix doing just the same thing. And Chris J now in a good position, gets a good deal of information then. 2 spotted, and the play is coming in. Smokes are in place. TSM are going to start building towards this site. Taking their time though. Godby hears the 2 mollies going off, spots the heels of Carrigan trying to jump through, but no, gets denied as Next now waits patiently for his turn as Device walks into those crosshairs and Next just comes up big. This guy's having a good day performing, and now Mousesports stop the rot and finally get that round on the board.
17 frags for Next already. Godby ahead of him with the 14, but of course he's just been being that hero, getting the extra points, and now where do they go from here? We are going to be seeing the opt for Cbble. He actually opted to not pick it up the round prior, so we'll see if we're going to see a change in the entire TSM T-side structure. Yes, it looks like he may be going for that opening pick on towards B. We've seen ops do this in the past and kind of let their teammates smoke it, which enables them to peek through that smoke. Now, because Carrigan got there early, he's going to have a little bit of extra confidence to push through that smoke if he chooses to, but not now, as Legeia just shuts that down. That's going to be a real kind of real slow down for the T-side, as TSM are just going to have to grind to a halt and try and find a pick elsewhere.
Certainly will. They need to find their options now. Every single time a player from Mouse is picking up the opener. Be it Legeia, be it Godby. They're picking up those initial kills, which are massive here. Godby this time, not going to be doing just the same thing. He's going to be switched up, so not going to go for that push. But Dennis spots out the feet, just tip-tapping around. Device goes down, and that's a little bit of the threat removed away from A. Still one player there, though. They could make something out of it, but the remainders are all over by this B side, trying to work in towards drop down. They hear the fire from one. Dupree gets Xyp9x to peek. It's Godby, and Xyp9x is going to hold that position, hold that fire, and allow Dupree just to peek around a little further. But with 30 seconds left, that clock is going to start running down on TSM.
Mouse seem kind of poised for this push. As Nex is in such a good spot to catch Dupree. He knew there was going to be a vulnerability and drop, and now they're putting their numbers in all the right places. Just 2 remain for TSM, and I don't think they're going to chance this one with 5 CTs remaining. And they are just getting out of dodge. Oof. Legeia
so
punished
easily.
for the hunt. Yeah, not so easily, but they are going to back away to spawn. I don't think they're going to go for anything extra for Mouse. They're going to be just happy to have the round. And this one is going to be a pretty exciting game. Already we're seeing both teams approach this with a couple of extra strats. We haven't seen so much from TSM's T-side just yet, but it's already looking a whole lot different to what Mousesports have bought them. But as soon as talking of bought, Mousesports have won both of the buy rounds so far. Let's see if TSM can challenge them here with this kind of double Tech 9 buy-up.
Really not ideal, but we've seen brute forces working on this map when they stack in, when they either make the big play towards B. It's something we saw working time and time again, but Legeia last time was very integral to this. You can see the flash and smoke coming in. Carrigan this time not taking it for an answer. He's going to take down Legeia and open it up, but the rest of Mouse now starting to head over towards B. You can see Dennis second guessing, starting to reconsider, but they're there and they are not messing around, and Carrigan leading by example, coming out, taking down Next. 2 kills back to back, leaving Godby the big line of defense here, and you can see now Chris J want to get in on the action.
Oh, and Mousesports are just getting ripped apart. This is exactly... Whoa, I say that. Chris J, he tries to pick up a third. Not going to happen. And now all onto Godby. Cbble is there. Wow. And that's all off the back of Carrigan. That's all off the back of him charging into the site, getting that opener onto Legeia. The very previous round, we saw that going in favor of Legeia. He came prepared, walked through the smoke, Tech 9 in hand, and managed to put the bullet into the brain of the opposing TCCT. So, very nice from them. 10-11 then the score, as that's going to be a good sign of things to come for that T-side TSM.
That got so close, though. Chris J was able to get behind them, and there's clear flaws there. I just think maybe Legeia pushing up towards that spot just isn't great. I'm not a big fan of it. It's very all-in, and most teams will check it. Most teams will look for that in the end now. And already, Legeia getting up close and personal. He likes to hold this close. He does have Next behind him, so it makes sense. But Godby now switching a little bit. Going to be playing from the side room towards drop, not quite in the window. And already we're seeing the impact of Next here. Dupree jumps down, checks for it. Legeia a little bit too predictable on that one. Being found by Dupree, who's now going to gain control over that B side, sprays him wildly and gets Next down. These shots through smoke have been so on point, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, most definitely. He seems to have no problem finding bodies, whether it's through smoke or not. As Chris J and Dennis are going to be the 2 remaining CTs, and Chris J is in a pretty tough situation. They know exactly where he is. Cbble going to be making his life hell, as they are just going to be retreating out of there. Dennis lucky to be alive, as Cbble did tag him. That's going to be 12 now for TSM. How's Mousesports money looking? Yeah, this is going to be an eco off the back of their system.
But the thing I want to point out is how much better TSM have gone now playing towards B. They're just so crisp at it. And that round just proved it. They checked for Legisha. They knew what he was wanting to do. They knew what his plan was. And it's just really nicely done. If they can keep that up, I don't think Mouse are going to stop them. Godby and Next got picked up pretty quickly as well, and especially into this round, they're not in the position to make it happen. So TSM will get themselves to 13, and then from that point, they're just so close to closing out the game.
Yeah, this is going to get scary. I think it's going to come down to what Chris J can do with that AWP, just to try and take something away from TSM, as we are having a slideshow for one of those players. Bit of a PowerPoint.
Who is it?
I'm not sure. Where is it? Godby. Whoa. He's just plugged his toaster in, and he's going to be trying to play. Is it Ping?
Don't know.
Either way, let's see what Next and Carrigan can do in this exchange, as the Legisha is no longer there. But look how aggressive Carrigan is. He's just going to be going through that smoke every single time. Seems like Mouse know it, and they have stacked this 4 CT stack. And look at the nades flying in. There's just a flurry of nades throwing in towards the side. This is going to get very bloody fast.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be Mouse blood just about everywhere, but Next tries to make the most of it, pushing up, finding Cajun, but it's not going to work out as Legisha just waits. As Dennis and Chris J do get the kills. It's a 2v2, but Legisha unable to retrieve a gun, makes a kind of a lackluster move then, and does get found by Device, but Chris J wants the one to have the weapon here, and Zipnix is very low. He can land this shot, and he does. It's a 1v1 now. Device up against Chris J, 2 players who've already got 2 kills so far. Will Chris J expect the peak? I think Device might have just spotted him. Chris J didn't hear it.
Didn't hear it.
I think someone just told him. I think someone just said, I swear I just heard someone in drop. Let's see though. 35 seconds. Device has it all to do. Nade comes out. That's going to tell Chris J where he was.
Yeah, but, oh, that's smart from Device. Throwing the nade, then immediately going for the plant, kind of keep Chris J there, give him some security to get that bomb down, and now Chris J is going to realize that he's kind of been completely caught off guard. He's going to be getting his knife out in frustration, and now Device has had some time to find a spot. He's actually going to try and challenge him. AKV AWP, interesting choice there. He knows Chris J's low. Oh, but Chris J picks it up. That's 3 in the round. And Chris J, he doesn't know what pressure is. He has no idea. He has completely turned around that round. 3 frags for him. And that's so important considering that he was the only player on his team that had a weapon.
Massive stuff from Chris J. He just perfectly dodged that flash as well coming out. That was the best part of it all. He just a little duck behind the rock, ignored it, and there was Device there who was already willing to challenge on the first peak. So Chris J, like, oh, he wants to be confident here. Waits for it and gets it. Perfect, perfect play. 11-12 now. Mousesports are not out of this yet. They are fighting this one to the very last round. And let's see if they can really overthrow TSM, a team who've just come off the back of a huge victory over the likes of Fnatic. And yet we're seeing them now being pressured by Mousesports. This could be absolutely huge.
Let's find out. As you can see, the Galil and Tech9. This is going to be a bit of, not a shoddy buy, but not ideal for TSM. As they are, of course, are now up against a very hyped-up Mouse off the back of Chris J's round. Molly coming out. That's going to be an indicator the Legisha is elsewhere on that site, and it's so easy for TSM to try and get an idea, build an idea of where the CTs are going to be. As already Legion B first into the site does go down as Dupree's there to respond though onto Godby, and back and forth we go.
And this could be big. Another one for Mouse. Next, still making an impact on 1 HP. Finally goes down, but Legisha with the double kill coming into place, leaving Zipnix now 1v2. Bomb not to hand. He's got Dennis to find, he's got Legisha to find, and he got the tag. He even took down Legisha, but it wasn't enough. Dennis, perfect positioning, and the scoreline is now even. I did not expect this from Mousesports. I didn't think they would put up this much of a resistance on their CT side. I thought as soon as TSM got on that T side, I'll be honest, that it would be a steamroll. I thought that TSM would just start running away. But Mousesports, you can't just underestimate these guys. You really cannot, because they are so good at this. And now TSM on the eco. On the T side, you shouldn't be able to turn this around. They don't have Tech9, just a couple of P250s. That's just closed the game, as you do. Just wants to happen.
Just game close. Okay.
I wasn't even touching the PC.
Yep, let's do that.
That's really impressive.
Well, for now, we'll just go jump on to my POV, where you will see a lovely cyan crosshair. Either way, let's see how this one shapes up. Device, P250 is going to rattle off one, but that's probably all they're going to be able to pick up, as Zipnix and Cajun B are going to be the last 2 remaining. And that's all that she wrote. They did manage to take Chris J and got beat down, but they do probably retrieve the AWP. Yep, Dennis is there to scoop that one up. And so he's going to be quite happy to keep that one flowing for his team. Economy, though, look at TSM's economy. This is going to be everything they can scrape together. Xyp9x no nades just yet. We'll probably be picking them up. And so, Mousesports, just one FAMAS for them. Lack of head armor for Chris and Legija. Now let's see where they choose to structure this one.
Yeah, this is going to be a big telling point here. You okay, Alex? It's really jumped with that.
Oh, that was so subtle.
It was.
I don't know if you guys at home even saw that. That was so, and now I've just pointed it out. Damn, that subtle transition.
This is a big round now. If Mousesports gets this, they'll be so close, but Device is having none of it. He's just thinking of it as a challenge now. He's like, all right, this is pretty easy until this point, maybe. Let's see if I can turn up and do this single-handedly. T-side is starting to look still towards B. The bomb is over by A. So really not committed yet, slowing things down a little bit of Mousesports back at them. And there's no easy pick to be made here. Dupree waiting. T-side starting to pile in, but Legija meets them at the gate, says, not today, Carrigan. You already got the better of me earlier. I've switched up. I'm playing differently now, but will Mousesports expect the A play? Chris J is waiting, and he now needs to come up big.
See how this one goes down. Device completely wipe, but KJV's there to hold his hand as they walk into the site. Device there to return. These guys are just a deadly duo at this point, as it's going to be Legija and Nex, the two remaining CTs. I say that Nex is not long for this world. Legija trying to claw something back with the FAMAS. Has managed to put an M4 in his hands, but still, time is going to be a little too much of a factor for him, and he's going to be backing away to just keep that weapon and that armor safe.
Yeah, and TSM looks so much better when they do those plays. They get the pick on one side, they switch up, they already had that split, and they exploit it. That's what I mean by what I expected from TSM on their T side. I wanted more of that, more exploiting that, more making use of it. But Mouse have so far been pretty easy to adjust. You know, every time it's been that B hit, okay, well, last time we tried to put Legija a little closer to them on the balcony, didn't really work out. Okay, well, let's switch him up a bit. He switched up. They started to really get those rounds, but now game back on. TSM now equal to Mousesports, and Mousesports' economy is pretty darn low. They could go for a bit of a shoddy buy-up here if they really want to. Legija could drop that out, but I'm not sure what they can really make from it. I think it's just a couple of pistols being thrown around, but then again, we saw what can happen. Chris J last time was the only player with the AWP, and that was enough to pick up the round. But against them is a fully bought up, fully ready to go TSM. This should be their round.
It most definitely should be. Let's see what TSM choose to throw at the Mousesports side. Mousesports have stacked 4 players over towards B, and this is perfect. There is literally 8 of the 10 players on the server within about 5 meters of each other at this point.
Now this is brave though. Legija has the weapon, and he's gone to a place where it's very hard to recover this if he does go down. So they're putting a lot of faith in this guy. He's going to flash Chris J through. Chris J's going to try and
completely
a little
wipe.
Information. Didn't really work out then. Carrigan will easily meet him and take him out. 1 minute left. Mousesports have to weather the storm here. Yeah,
and I think they knew that Chris was kind of a little test sample of what's going to be waiting for them through that smoke, and they do realize that there's a whole lot of TSM. It's not going to kind of phase TSM though, as they're still preparing themselves for an execute on towards B. But look at that, Nex and Godby just second guessing. Nex is going to realize he sees a glimpse, and that's going to be, here comes the wave of TSM. See what he can do with the 5-7, gets close and gets a frag, gets a second. It was Legija actually who picked that one up, as now it's going to be back and forth, Cage and B. Can Mousesports do this twice in a row?
Legija has to come up now. He's the one with the weapon. He should have been delivering, but stands in the molly. Switch it out, buddy. You've had your turn. Godby now is in control, but 25 seconds left. 2 players left for TSM. Nice. Godby going to go for that brave boost up here. He's going to be lurking around. Cage and B does not expect it, and now Xyp9x 1v3, giving it all he can, but 15 seconds left. This should be Mousesports' round. He surely cannot deliver again. 10 seconds now remain, and Godby is there. The clap comes out again.
I need to stop this. Jeez, that was impressive.
But Mousesports, what a round.
That was so smart from Mouse. Jesus. Okay, no more clapping. There's a hiatus on clapping, I apologize. I'm just really impressed to see these kind of underdog stories coming up from Mouse. There's 2 rounds now. They've literally put 1 weapon. I think they did have 2 armors on those 2 pistols. They had a PT-50 and 5.7.
Godby with one as well.
Yeah, so there was some armor on Godby when he got given that M4, but still, very nice to see that working against a fully bought up TSM, and that was a fully bought T-side. Now we're going to be seeing almost the same thing from TSM, this time though fully armored Tech 9s, and they're looking to set their sights on B.
Well, they are, and Mousesports already beginning the rotate. They are pulling players across. Legesia hopping up and down. He knows what's about to happen. He's going to have to back up. Only 14 bullets in that gun. He's got to be careful, but a great pop flash comes out, and Legesia using every single one of those 14 bullets and putting them into the brains of TSM. And they're not done just yet. Mousesports doing work, 15 to 13. They might just take down TSM. This went from a game that we thought was just, a weak start from Mousesports to an astounding CT side.
I am without words. They are going to be buying up as much as they can. TSM potentially going to be losing out to Mousesports here. It's a map we've seen Mousesports succeed on, especially on that CT side. Not forgetting that 10-5 half they had before, but this would be besting that. Now let's see what they bring to the table. So far, just 3 rounds picked up. No, that's a lie. From TSM. And now, let's see where Mousesports take this. It's going to come down to Dennis. He's going to be the first to be tested for a mouse. He's white, but so are they, and it's going to be just a question of time, and he's going to be just looking his eyes towards the edge of the smoke. Godby's already picked up 1, Dupree down, and this is going to get bumpy for TSM and get fast.
This is unbelievable. TSM is starting to struggle, and so am I, but Zipnik's Device last 2 left, and it's gonna go down. Mousesports. What? Oh my god!
I've got a clapping problem, Lauren. I'm gonna like duct tape my hands down to the desk when we're casting. Wow, Mousesports though, 16 rounds, they managed to pick up the victory against TSM on Cbble. That is impressive. This is the TSM that just beats NIP 16-3 yesterday. Yes, NIP are having problems, but still TSM are on form.
Really
but
big game.
So are Mousesports. Really big win for them. And this is a team, I need to get that ladder, the league table on my screen, but they have gone from about that 6th, 7th, 8th position. They're going to take those 3 points with a pride as they pick up that victory, considering that off the back of that loss against Navi.
Yeah, that is going to mean the world to those guys, and I'm so sorry for that ending. But Alex,
I was just too excited. Could you hear how excited I was? I was like, things happening fast. Mousesports. Jesus. Okay.
Oh, so Mousesports were locked down in 8th place with 3 points. That's going to get them above the pack, so ahead of Na'Vi, ahead of Titan, although Navi's already there. Hellraisers as well. They're going to actually get themselves towards the top page, the higher echelon, should we say. So that's a massive victory coming out for Mousesports. So congratulations, guys. And the thing was that it wasn't just one player stepping up. It wasn't just a Chris J show that sometimes you get and it's beautiful to watch. But God be there. Legesia playing that site was just unreal. He got outdone a couple of times. Carrigan had his number. The first few rounds, he locked him down. But then after that, he switched up, and that little bit of a switch got them back in that game.
Yep, and that was Mousesports communicating in German. Let's not forget that we saw the Mousesports before when they had Nico standing in. Looked a little bit shaky. This was different, and really good to see them picking up a win against a team like TSM. That does kind of wrap up what we saw for our second game. There is a third, of course, and even a fourth, but the third will be Titan up against Virtus Pro. That's going to be coming up next. That's going to be coming up very soon already. We've got 5 Virtus Pro players in the server, so this is going to be a pretty quick break, as quick as we can make it, and we'll see you guys back shortly for another cracking game of CSGO.